Hi guys, welcome to the last Romeo and Juliet video, and I cannot be more excited. Okay, this week, anybody with a 64% doesn't have to take the final. The final is going to be 80% Romeo and Juliet. If you fall short after the final exam, you could have until June 10th to get your grade up. You need to talk to me for this. This week, we're going to finish the rest of the movie and do one Act 4 and 5 assignment. There is also extra credit for outside reading. I felt bad about canceling that for those of you guys that are actually doing it. So there's a summary sheet that needs to be turned in by the 29th. All right, Act 4, Scene 1. Juliet, at this point, has been disowned by her parents, betrayed by the nurse, and the one person that she can turn to is the friar. She goes to his cell and says, "You need to help me or I'm going to kill myself." Now, the friar is responsible for this union. He can't have Juliet kill herself, and she can't have another wedding take place. Why? Because he married Romeo and Juliet, so he has a crazy plan. This is the plan. Juliet needs to go home, tell her parents she's so sorry, and that she will marry Paris on Thursday. She needs to sleep alone, then she needs to take the vial on Wednesday night, and it will make her seem dead for 42 hours. She will be buried in the vault. They'll have the funeral. Friar Lawrence will get a letter to Mantua for Romeo, and he and Friar Lawrence will be there when she wakes up, and the two of them can ride off into the sunset to Mantua. But things go wrong. Juliet, in her excitement, does what she's supposed to do, but she says she wants to get ready for her wedding on, sorry for the spelling error, tomorrow. This one, it is Tuesday, so that would mean the wedding would be Wednesday. The wedding has been scheduled for Thursday. Capulet takes this as a sign that she's really ready for the marriage. So he says, if my baby wants to get married, I'm going to work all night long to get this married and move it up a day. Who doesn't know this? Friar Lawrence. In Scene 3, Juliet is only 13 years old. She does what she's supposed to do. Again, this is Wednesday night. She has a lot of what ifs. What if Friar gave me poison? What if it doesn't work? What if I wake up in the vault and nobody's there and I'm around a bunch of dead bones and dead relatives? But she takes it anyway. Before she does this, she puts a dagger underneath her pillow. Why? Because she is not going to marry Paris. So if she wakes up in the morning, she's going to kill herself with a dagger. 4 and 5. Capulet and the nurse find Juliet dead, and they're in anguish. Friar Lawrence says that she needs to be buried quickly so that she can get to heaven quicker. Again, Friar Lawrence did not know that the wedding was moved up a day. Act 5, Scene 1. Romeo is in Mantua. He's anticipating news about Juliet from Balthazar, but Balthazar, before he leaves Verona, he witnesses the funeral. And he goes back and tells Romeo that Juliet is dead. Dramatic irony, she's only fake dead for 42 hours. The letter from the friar has not reached Romeo. Romeo gets upset and said, "Oh, I am fortune's fool. What does this mean?" Before this point, he let fate dictate his life. Now he's going to take fate into his own hands and kill himself by Juliet. But before he leaves, he gives Balthazar a letter with everything that has happened with him and Juliet and such to give to his father. So after his death, that his mom and dad will know exactly what happened. Scene 2, we find out what happened to that letter. Friar John, who delivered the letter, who was supposed to deliver the letter to Romeo with the plans, never made it to Mantua. He was helping the sick along the way, just like what friars do. And he ended up being quarantined in a plague house. So he was stuck. This letter had the message that Juliet wasn't dead, that Romeo needed to meet the friar in the Capulet vault when Juliet wakes up. So all this comes down to Scene 3. The scene starts with Paris putting flowers by Juliet's vault right about the same time that Romeo gets to the Capulet vault. Paris thinks that Romeo is there to mess with the Capulet vault, doesn't really know that the two are married. Romeo and Juliet are married. So he fights Romeo and Paris dies. Immediately after, Romeo remembers hearing that Paris was the one that was supposed to marry Juliet. So he kind of is, my bad. Okay, I'll bring your body into the vault so you can lie by Juliet too. Romeo sees Juliet, and she's on a concrete slab in the vault, and says, "Death hasn't taken your beauty." He is describing her cheeks. Her cheeks is rosy. Her lips are rosy. She looks like she's just sleeping. But what he doesn't know, dramatic irony, is that she's waking up. 42 hours have come and gone. Hence the color in her cheeks. Romeo takes the poison he got from the apothecary. This poison was supposed to kill him the minute that it touched his lips. So Romeo is dead. Friar Lawrence quickly enters the scene, and he sees Paris dead, Romeo dead. Juliet wakes up, and she sees Friar Lawrence, but she also sees Romeo dead lying beside her. There's voices coming from the door, so Friar Lawrence says, we have to go. Juliet says, no way, I'm not going to leave her. But then Friar Lawrence leaves. Mind you, she's a 13-year-old girl, and the love of her life is dead. She has just kind of faked her own death. So what is she going to do? She can't live without Romeo, so she takes the dagger that she placed by her pillow before she took Friar Lawrence's potion, and she kills herself. Lord and Lady Capulet and Lord and Lady Montague and the police and Prince all come into the scene immediately after. Lord Montague shows the prince the letter that Romeo wrote before he went to get the poison. Everyone reads the letter and is aware of everything that they didn't know about the past 5 days. Capulet and Montague end the feud, and each one says that they are going to erect a statue of the two, Romeo and Juliet, for each one to see. So really, Romeo and Juliet did not just kill themselves. What killed them? Dramatic irony. Okay. Any questions, please let me know. Y'all take care.